Hi chat! Welcome to another stream. How we all doing today? Why does this look weird? It's fine. Okay. Huh. Anyway, let's see. This is Friday, January 8th of 2021. Not to be confused with 2020, because God forbid we're somehow in 2021 already. But anyway, welcome back to the stream. How's it going, Michaela? And we missed this notification, so I will replay it. Thank you, Sammy Voss. Oh, my volume is too high. Thank you for the resub, Sammy Voss. 3 months in a row, and 3 months total, which I believe means you get a fancy new badge. But thank you for the continued support. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you almost get first. But anyway, we're back for another stream today. Let me say hi to everyone who's here. Where's the beginning? There's a bit of chatter before the stream. Looks like I Satisfied was just barely first today. And St. Vols was close right after. Michaela's also here. How's it going? Belladots is also here, who is officially retiring from the first game, even though you've retired before. But it's all good. It's all good. Hey, what's up, rollers? Hello, hello. First, St. Vols says started the bot too late. Do you have a bot that was trying to get first and failed? Oh, I should do this off stream first. Okay, good. Good. Oh. Wait, I didn't even see the sub at the beginning. Oh, I see. Oh, actually, you know what it is? The sub messages don't show up in the text, the bot text at all. So I think you might have actually been first today. Because this was definitely right before I Satisfied's message. Interesting, perplexing. But that's cool. Hey, what's up, Hayden? Hello, hello. And yes, the bot is still subbed to Pokimane. G-Spox Hero has gifted, I think, 4 subs to Pokimane to my bot, which is amazing. Hey, what's up, Sarcastic Dante? Hello, hello. Good to see you as always. We've also got Chico Codes here. Hello, hello. Anthony getting fancy for today. I mean, this is just what I wear on. This is what I wear on most streams. You know, I'm gotta be on brand with the button shirts. Which was a silly brand to be on, but I don't know. I think it's fine. Now even Anthok makes fun of me not getting first. That's funny. Hey, what's up, Muggy? Hello, hello. Good to see you with the pow. As always, I'm following, sir. It's true. It's true. I Satisfied says, me and Bellalis have been here since before. Yeah, that's true. You both were chatting beforehand. Please don't banish me. No, you're good. You're good, Milky. It's always good to see you. You've got that fancy VIP badge. Do you have a zip-up shirt? I have some like zip-up hoodie things. I don't really wear them. I guess I wear this one. Because it's not as sweaty as the other ones. Ugh. Got my little dusty because it's been on the floor, I guess. But I have my lift hoodie that has a zipper, on it. But yeah, a bit odd to rep that brand, but you know it's comfy, so I wear it still. Hey, what's up, Rebadub TV? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. Rebadub TV is another streamer. Welcome, welcome. Kevin Schoberg is here too. How's it going, Kevin? How have you been? It's good. It's good to see you again. Actually, we were talking about all the people that have the silver button badge in chat, and I was wondering how soon. You are several days after the other silver badges. I see. Keep spending money that Kevin Schoberg doesn't have. Right. But anyway, welcome to another stream. I did a few things offline, so I guess we'll go over those today. I recorded a podcast yesterday, so that will be coming up soon. It's about PyTest stuff, which is cool. It should be on Test and Code if you aren't following that podcast. Test and Code. I don't actually know the URL. Oh, it's testandcode.com. Perfect. But yeah, there should be a podcast coming up pretty soon that we recorded yesterday. It's about PyTest and markers and a bunch of other related things, and it was a fun one. It was weird because like I don't know, I felt like really distracted during recording the podcast, but we'll see what happens. But yeah. Podcast hype, indeed. I've been good. My mother caught COVID, so I've been off the grid for a while. Oh, well, I'm glad that has resolved itself. If it sounds like it's better now, and you're back. Welcome back. Did you do one with him before? Yeah, I've done a bunch of podcasts with Brian. Let's see if we can find 4 episodes. I've done 4 episodes so far. God, this was an old one. PyTest 3. That's so long ago. Most of them have just been about like PyTest releases and other stuff. So like I did one about PyTest 3. This was about PyTest 5.2, which like the funny thing is, I think this feature isn't that useful. But it was like the focus of 5.2 and Brian wanted to understand it more, so we talked about it. We talked about PyTest plugins, a more recent one. Hey, what's up, Absinthe? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. It's an interesting spelling of Absinthe, but I will take it. Welcome. We also talked about PyTest 6 more recently. Oh my god, this was an hour long. I don't know how I paid attention for a full hour. I felt like there wasn't that much in PyTest 6. What did we even talk about? Yeah, I feel like we must have just like memed about a bunch of stuff because I didn't feel like there was that much interesting stuff that happened. But anyway, that was the thing. So I recorded a podcast yesterday. It's mostly about -m and pytest.mark and nuances there. But yeah, that was yesterday. I also this was last stream. We didn't merge that yet because it's not quite ready because I have to do data backfill, which we're gonna do on stream today, hopefully. But let's see. Yeah, so I worked on PyFlakes a while ago. We actually did this one on stream as well. Never mind, we did that one on stream. But I found another bug in PyFlakes while I was going to make a release, which is a type annotation can clobber double under all, and so I went and fixed this. Very simple change with tests. I have prepped the PyFlakes and PyCodeStyle release notes so that those will hopefully be released soon. I need to get somebody to sign off on the PyCodeStyle ones, but PyFlakes 1 looks ready to go, so I will be making a release there so I can do one last Python 2 Flake 8 release before not caring about Python 2 anymore, because I think PyFlakes, or I think Flake 8 is the last thing that I care about for Py 2 at the moment, which, I mean, I don't care about it, but the last one I have to worry about at the moment. Also found an interesting bug in both PyCodeStyle and Flake 8 about Windows CRLF new lines. This is actually kind of a great change. Take these 3 lines, replace it with 2. Like, seems like a big win to me. But yeah, this particular file has carriage return new lines instead of just new lines. And it was crashing PyCodeStyle because this was on the first line of the file. Only when it was on the first line of the file. Anywhere else, it was correct and not problematic. So fixed that. Yeah. Oh, and I committed this, rolled it out, and then rolled it back because I ended up not needing it. So that was the thing. I have also done some improvements to pre-commit.ci. Well, mostly refactors in the backend, so you can't really tell the difference from a user perspective. But I split one of the types. Data session. So the session type originally had an install object here, so I've just made a new session-specific install type, which looks a lot like the other install type, but it's not going to contain things like plan or whatever, because we don't need that information at install. But yeah, we're going to be working more on getting this ready for Marketplace today. Oh my god, so much chat. Let me catch up on this. Yeah, I've done a couple with Brian, and I've done a couple with Michael as well on, what is his podcast called? Talk Python to Me. Chemist Trevor says, oh, and my temper got the best meme this morning, so yeah, I don't use an Apple keyboard anymore. Did it turn into a split keyboard, Kevin Schober? Hey, what's up, the English server? Hello, hello. Why is a high priority a low number in queues? It drove me crazy today. Depends on your queue, I guess. Priority queue. Probably because it's easier to sort in. Well, I mean, they pick an arbitrary sorting direction and build based on that. Are they conventionally low number, high priority? I guess that makes sense. You can always multiply by -1 if you want the opposite. And we have to celebrate Explains number 200. That's true. That's true. The 200th Anthony Explains video came out this morning about Xargs. This is it's a bit of a long one, but I think this is has a lot of really good content. I find that I use Xargs a lot, and whenever I use it, people are like, "What is this wizardry?" Anyway, all of the wizardry that I ever do with Xargs is explained in these 17-minute video. So check that out. It's definitely, I think it's definitely one of the better ones. That picture, oh yeah, the purple hair one. Is this a picture of your destroyed keyboard? Oh no. What happened? Firefox or Chrome? What doing? Hello? As soon as I scroll down, it disappears. Is it a default zoom thing? No. Okay, anyway, we can see it now until I scroll. Oh, now the scroll's working. It's okay. The Apple keyboard's a shitty keyboard anyway. I don't know what was going on with Chrome there. That was weird. Michaela got some new emotes. Indeed. Hey, what's up, Aquafunkalistic Booty Wap? How's it going? Good to see you again. That's what I need to. More podcasts to subscribe to, and then have piled up my to-listen list. Absent says, it's spelled wrong, so I can call it all the kids who don't know any better. I see. I see. Drink time it says, okay, so for file reason, I've stopped receiving your live. Oh, for some reason, wait, for file reason, you stopped receiving my live notifications. Yeah, Twitch is really fucking weird about that. I don't know why. They're not the greatest about sending out notifications. Also, like, I'm supposed to get notifications for other stuff on in email, and I only get a few of them. I don't know what Twitch is doing there. Who gave you the Ergodox beta? Oh, that's funny. Finally got tired of that piece of shit called the keyboard. Got myself the Advantage 2. Nice, awesome. Wait, is that purple hair Anthony in the podcast pic? That's a rare Anthony right there. It's true. It's true. It's like a shiny Pokemon. Drink time it says, will you do the code review I redeemed? Sure. Do you have the code? Do you want me to review it right now? Dun, dun, dun. Bunnies are cute, but it's weird seeing something different. It's true. Hey, what's up, Marco Dev? Hello, hello. Used an axe to split his keyword. I guess so. Hey, what's up, Oscar Allen? Hello, hello. At least it seems to me that you ate the banana the correct way, unlike Anthony. Oh, your JSON parser. Oh. Yeah, we can look at this. So it's about 34x lower than just built-in JSON. That's pretty cool. Okay, we can look at the code for this. I guess we can do that at the beginning of the stream. Home page. Please go to GitHub. Yay! Go to GitHub. Okay. Okay, JSON parser. I like to name my repositories with a dash. Now with an underscore. So the first thing you're missing is a pre-commit config. Where's the pre-commit config? Look, already better. At least passes my pi though. So that's good. Maybe because there's no types. Is this where I put my MyPy config? Yeah. What happens if we put a MyPy config in here? It's all dude? It's all typed dude? You don't have a setup.cfg either. Let's see if it passes the slightly more strict MyPy. Oh, it does! I'm impressed. I like that. Alright. What have we changed so far? Oh, there's trailing white space. Oh my. Import sorting. Kind of thing. Fixed your parens in a bunch of places. Got rid of the unnecessary R. Oh, are you using black? I guess I can switch it from double quotes, single quotes, double quotes. Is this single quotes or double quotes? What do you want? Are you using black is the other question. Do you want single quotes or double quotes? Actually, I don't have a way to go to double quotes, so you're getting single quotes. You're using autopipate? Okay, cool. Get ls files. Alright, let's read all the code. Alright, get ignore. I would remove this. I would sort this. Also, these are only at the top level, so you can do this instead. I would not do the pulled it folder. I would do startup PyC. I don't know why you have eggs and egg info. You shouldn't have eggs or... You shouldn't have eggs. Unless you're doing something weird. Oops, semicolon. Okay. That's a license file. That seems fine. This is actually not console. This would be bash. Console is when you have a prompt and outputs. Bash is for just script. This should be spelled out as Python. Py is supported by some Markdown parsers, but Python is much more standard. You should put 2 spaces before inline comments. AutoPepe would have fixed that for you, but it's in a thing instead. The type of this actually isn't Python. This should be PyCon, which is the Python console highlighter. Of course, I don't have a highlighter for it, so it just shows up as boring. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, this seems fine. I don't like init.py. Also, if you only have one file. Do you only have one file? I guess you have 2 files. I don't really like init.py myself. I would usually not bother with this, but it is a way. Left terminal. Whoops. Okay, I do now. Okay, anyway, sort that. License, okay. I went over this. You could mostly see that because it was not too thick. But anyway. Hopefully you caught left terminal before we got here. This is good. Tuple's a good choice here. A deck. From string import whitespace as whitespace. So the problem with string.whitespace is it only gives you the ASCII whitespace characters. There's actually a lot more whitespace characters. And I suspect that you don't actually need to handle these particular whitespace characters. Like, I'm pretty sure JSON defines whitespace as tabs or spaces or new lines or carriage returns and not like vertical form feed. JSON.org. What was the weird redirect thing? You guys saw that little... Weird, they're using HTML redirects. Is this a 200? What? Why would they do this? This is so dumb. There's... What? Why? Anyway, Douglas Crockford is an interesting character. Where's their white space definition? Looks like space character back 20 should be new line. This is new line, carriage return, tab. Well, this is 5 characters? Hex or new line, carriage return, tab. Okay, yeah, it's tab space, carriage return, and line feed. So slightly more than this white space here. Okay. Extract string. Oh, it's for your string parsing. Okay, extract number. I maybe would have used more regex for this. Where's your actual tokenization part? Oh, this is actually relatively straightforward. This is a little interesting. I would maybe have used a map from the token text to this if you have, you know, an exact thing here. That way you could use the map here as well. But this seems like a pretty straightforward recursive descent. Or I guess this is the tokenizer, so it should just be a linear scan. And then your parser should take that token stream. Usage as a deck is a good idea. I like that. The attempt to type this is nice. Typing JSON is actually not possible given the current typing. Oops, I dropped a piece of the fidget spinner that I'm playing with. Cool. This is basically your recursive descent here, and this is your recursive array. This actually looks a lot similar to how I did my tokenization for my crappy I called it dumbconf. Interesting that AutoPepe and Flagate allow this. Looks weird to me. But yeah, this seems fine. You cheat a little bit on integer parsing. I like that. The interesting thing about numbers in JSON. Oh, actually, does this mean you're not doing floats right? Because JSON doesn't really specify whether they're supposed to be decimal or floating point, if I recall correctly. But yeah, this seems fine. I would have moved this to setup.cfg. Also, I think you're using features that don't fit in 360. Yeah, you're using things that, oh, it just doesn't know that it's Python 3.6.0. Yeah, so all of these versions of Python are currently broken. And this one is broken. And this one is broken. You don't really care about 3.5. So you'll want to guard your typing imports more. This comes from Flake8 typing imports. The Flake8 thing that I wrote. But I would move this to setup.cfg. That way you can use setup.cfg format. So if you do Diff install setup pi upgrade. On a directory. I always forget how this tool works. Dot. So then this moves you to setup.cfg. And then you can use setup CFG format and it'll improve that as well. Setup CFG format. And now it should add a bunch more metadata here and a bunch of other nice things for you as well. And format it nicely and other stuff like that. But anyway, int.py, cool. Tests. Formatting here is a little weird, but seems fine. I'm glad that you split your failure and your success cases up into different things. Oh, this is the Lexer. Okay. Okay. Seems fine. Are these raw strings? Because these will actually be the Unicode characters, which is probably not what you want. I need to actually escape these. But yeah, looks fine. Looks about how I would approach it. Hey, what's up, 02999? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. And now I have to catch up on so much more, chat. Okay, cool. Also, please say Jason. I see. I'm not sure what Anthony's up to, but it's clearly bananas. Oh no. Yeah, I do have a weird way of eating bananas. It's efficient though. It's efficient. I'm extremely new to packaging. Yeah, no, this looks fine. I have a video about this stuff. So there's definitely something you can check out there. What license was it? MIT. The guy told me to do setup.py bdist sdist wheel. It should be sdist bdist wheel. It should make egginfo, but it shouldn't make .eggs. .eggs is something else. So .eggs is for setup requires, which you shouldn't have for this. Yeah, you don't have setup requires, so you're fine there. Hey, what's up, Cyberbunny? Hello, hello. Can't you just drag the window tab to the other window like a proper OS? I can. That does work. The problem is, if I misdrag, God, I don't know if I want to demo this. If I misdrag, it will crash the terminal. It used to be a lot more reproducible. I don't know if it's as reproducible now. I also don't remember exactly how to reproduce it, but it used to be. It used to be this would crash the terminal. If I did this enough times, it would crash it. But I don't know. We're playing with fire there. But yeah, actually, that feature, tab tearing, I had to compile that back into my terminal because I know that it'll crash. This is for 25,000 baddies. We need the premium view. It's true. It's true. My context for standard string view whitespace just has back tab and back V. Wait, what is back V? Vertical form feed or some shit? Hey, Juice is here. Hello, Juicebox Zero. How's it going? Why not just search for the RFC? What is a deck? I did a video on it. Thank you, Michaela. Double-ended QE from typing import deck as dequeue. Use PyProject.toml. I don't think it's ready yet. I don't think PyProject.toml is ready yet. NoSQL Know-How, thank you for the resub with Prime for 4 months. Appreciate your continued support and welcome back. It's good to see you. You have videos on this? Yeah, I'm pretty much all of that. Hey, what's up, Doozy? Hello, hello. You'll never catch up. I'm only 2 minutes behind now, Juice. It's coming, it's coming. Hello again, NoSQL Know-How. Crashes in GNOME, yeah, that's why that's why it's been compiled out. That's why I'm using a very special version of it. Juice says he'll spend the rest of his life 10 minutes in the past, like a Black Mirror episode. Wait, backv equals GuideVVV's cousin. Wait, who's backv? Wait, where's backv? Did I miss somebody? What? I'm confused. I am very confused. But yeah, that would make sense. GuideVVV actually changed their name to Guide V2K or something like that. I actually like the original name better. Philip says, is there any way to ping/curl Twitch without using the API to see if a user is live? I mean, you could scrape. That would be the other way. Emsden says, TIL pre-commit exists today. My life is improved. Well, I'm glad you found it. It's definitely the thing that I'm the most proud of. What are the issues that make PyProject.toml not ready? I opted on using it because it sounded fancy and new. For me, there's kind of 3 things that make it not so great. One is it is slower to install packages than just standard setup.py. The second is it requires toml, which is not in the standard library, and so you have to add a dependency in order to read it. And the third is it does not have any support or even provisional support for editable installs, which I think are incredibly important in order to do development. There are some hacks to pretend to have editable installability, but most of them are just like use plain setup tools again, which at that point, like, you're missing. You're not using PyProject.toml anymore. Making jokes based on stuff he says is the worst. Yeah, because by the time I read it, I don't even understand. I swear there's some pingy command. Yeah, it should be dash bang ping. Did that not work? Is ping gone? Is ping gone? Is he gone? Get log dash capital G this. It looks like it was never a thing. Looks like it was never a thing. But I know there is like a different ping. Oh yeah, if you type capital ping, you get pong. Also, if you type capital ping something, it will reply back like that. Pong my ding. Edible installability. Yeah, there you go, Michaela. I see. Yeah, the editable thing was ... fun. Indeed. Ping champ. Ping pokey W. Wait, why didn't that work? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it has to be capital ping. Exposed. Chat speed run 100%. I forgot about that. The commands always take precedence over the string matching stuff. And it doesn't reply to itself, so it's good. Okay, so what I'm gonna work on today, now that we have reviewed this code. Oh god. Oh yeah, there we go. See, it breaks the terminal. Juice loves PokeW. Yeah, sorry, the bot wasn't up, so when the bot's down, it doesn't work. Back now. You can try it again. Try it again. Try it again, Juice. It was just because the bar was down. What would you rate my project? I would rate your project 8 out of 8, mate. Great project. I don't know. Wait, there's a pokey feet emote? What? He merges the poor bot. Yeah, well, it's back, it's back, it's back. I demand a refund. You can refund yourself because you have that little sword. Yeah. Please copy paste this for your monthly pleb test. Oh no. Pleb test passed. What the fuck? That's a lot of that's a lot of emotes in there. Pingy thingy not working anymore? Wait, what pingy thingy? No, it should work. Ping pokey feets pong pokey feets. It worked, it worked. Wait, we good? We good? Wait, was this you trying to set the MOTD? Weird that it doesn't. What is Poke 1 and 2? What is this? Okay. Anyway, so the to-do that we have today is we're gonna add plan and session ID, account ID to the install type. That way I can query it when I am doing the marketplace webhooks, which we wrote code for before, but I had to defer it. What is Poke 3 and 4? Is that a thing? Poke 3, Poke 4. Oh, I see. I understand. I see what is supposed to happen here. It's supposed to make a face. Yeah. Send messages too quickly and they were too similar. What is going on? Cry. Oh. I guess if you're able to send Poke 1, Poke 2 with stills like twice in a row, you could get it working. Like if you somehow get people to spam both of the messages at the same time, it should work. Also, I think if you're a VIP, it maybe works. I don't know. Michaela might be able to send the 2 Poke messages fast enough so the bot replies in order. I don't know though. That's why I tried too quick, too similar. Yeah, it might be one of those things that VIP changes. Hey, what's up, Jitoho? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. How are you doing? You took your points back. All right, jeez. I'm glad you got your points back. Okay, so pre-commit.ci. Okay, so we need to do this in a backward and forward compatible way. So the first thing that we're going to do as part of this is add plan, but default it to none. Data install. We also, I don't have to add this to the actual model because we never read this value. We just use it. We're just going to use it in a index. Okay, so plan here will be an optional stir. This is the same data type that we talked about before, so it'll be none if they have no premium plan. Otherwise, it will be the plan name here. And when we're instantiating this to do backfill, we need to do plan equals dct.get plan none, because currently the data in the data store does not have plan, so this will default back to the original thing. Oh god, what have you done? It's a little bit broken. I guess if you resize the window to the proper size, we can maybe get it to line up. Oh, nope, can't go smaller than that. Maybe if we zoom. There we go. Cursed Pokey. Totally working 100% correct there. Yes, as I've been making good use of the comma operator, but I also don't even entirely know why it's working, but it does so, yay. Oh god, the comma operator. I assume you're using it in const expert because that's like the place where I see the comma operator being abused the most. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Canopy Vista? Hello, hello. Is she moaning? It do kind of look like that, Juice. It works with the default size next to the player. Oh, the one on Twitch? The one here? It still didn't work for me here or here. But anyway. Having fun with Poke emotes. Wouldn't be an Anthony Red's Code stream without it. Well, yeah, your double ping pong seemed to work here, Bald Office. So that's a thing. What the heck is the comma operator? So in C++ and C. I forget how it works myself. I've googled this. Oh, maybe I haven't googled this. Geeks for Geek is the worst. If I recall correctly, it evaluates all of them in order, and then you get either the first or the last value. Built-in comma operator expressions have the form this. In a comma expression, the expression E1 is evaluated, its result is discarded. It's as if it has class type, it won't be destroyed until the end of the containing full expression. And its side effects are completed before evaluation of the expression E2 begins. Okay, so it essentially runs something and then discards it. Wild. Oh god, then this fuckery. Anyway, comma operator. The only time I've used it is in like for loop stuff. It's just like I made an L strip and then R strip and then I made a strip which does L strip, R strip, and it's magic. Yeah, that would make sense. Modifying in place is a little weird there though. But I guess if you don't have immutable strings, that's fine. There, Benny, it doesn't work for you because it's 942 here and 1242 there, so you have one more digit. Oh, I see. I understand. I understand. Hey, what's up, Shaz? Hello, hello. How are we doing today? I'm doing well. I'm a little bit sleepy, but other than that, I'm doing all right. I guess this should work regardless of time. Oh yeah, with the extra new line in there, so that you got the special Pong, which presumably lines up on small chat. Doesn't line up on my pop-out chat though. Basically for stuff like yeah, the 4 stuff. Hey, what's up, Dory? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Basically for declaring a variable instance in one expression only. Yes. The most useful cases are for for loops and abuse inside context query. Those are the places I've seen it. Just realized we're wearing the nice purple and blue checkered shirt. I believe it's just blue and blue. Right? These are blue shades. Maybe it's a little bit purple. I don't know. Feels blue to me. It's not modified in place though. Are you doing wait. How? I guess those are free functions, not member function. Makes sense. Litton Lead says, "Is this your job?" I'm currently unemployed. So yes or no, or yes or no. Feel free to tell me to frick off. Did you talk about your interview stuff at all? I talked a little bit about it briefly on Wednesday. Mostly about being completely exhausted because it was 5 and change hours of interviewing. Oh, Juice, thank you for the bits. Yeah, payday for my job on Twitch. 100 biddies. um, but yeah, the interview went fine. I felt like the program question was really, really easy. If you can solve day 1 of Advent of Code, you could have solved this interview question. I mean, maybe not in the way that they were looking for, but like you would have been able to get the correct answer or a correct answer. The weird thing is the question actually had a lot of answers. So there were a bunch of different ways to solve the problem. But yeah, I thought the programming question was really easy. I actually thought the design was pretty easy as well. And then the rest of it was just like managery type interviews where it's like, talk about a situation where you were put in an uncomfortable decision or had to make trade-offs, or tell me about a project you worked on and all of the nuance that went into that. And it's just like, ugh. The other thing is like, there's just like so much stuff that I can possibly talk about, and I felt the need to like squeeze as much into that, because the interview, like, for better or worse, it's the only time you get to convince somebody that you know what you're talking about and that you know are actually experienced in this domain and stuff. And there's not enough time to talk slowly, we'll put it that way. So I went through 10 glasses of water over those five hours, whereas I usually go through about 5 glasses of water while streaming at the same time. So like I was definitely talking a lot more and a lot more fervently, and trying to keep all that in my brain and splat my brain at the same time. So it was a lot, we'll put it that way. Maybe my color temp is messed up. Oh, maybe, I don't know. It's blue. It should be pretty blue. The comment is kind of weird with with like side effects. It's an error, of course. Oh, that is weird. Huh. Maybe because of the binding? No, comment should be last binding. I don't know. Too bad Twitch doesn't support Codebox. Yeah, right? Payday. Oh, we have a new Pog? There's a new Pog emote already? That was fast. What does the new one look like? Is there a PogChamp HD yet? Can I see the big HD one? Did you interview for a VP position? Why so long of an interview? That's unfortunately because of Google. This interview format has been extremely popularized in the Bay Area. And so this is just like a pretty fucking standard interview. Even though it seems like it's not like super long. Litleet says, what are your thoughts on robotics? Is it a good field to get into? I mean, robotics is fine. I feel like my opinions on this kind of brings up a question of like hardware versus software, and my general opinion has been kind of the same for this over time, in that it's much harder to be indispensable in a hardware career, just because there's a drastically limited more things or fewer things that you can do in hardware than in software. Then again, like I am a little bit biased because I am a software person and I have spent significantly more time in software than I have in hardware. So it's possible that I just lack the experience to know that there are more things in hardware than I'm aware of. But from what I understand, there's significantly more demand for software-based development, and there's only so much you can do with hardware. But I think work tinkering on robots is fun. I enjoy doing it myself. But I wouldn't want to do it as a career, personally. Did you ask any of the risky questions like, what don't you like about this company? I hate answering that question, so I have stopped asking it as an interviewee. I did ask some other interesting questions, which was like, tell me about an incident you had at your company and how that got handled, which tells you a lot more. Tells you a lot more than like Tell me about something shitty, essentially. Um, Tell me about that time you broke YAML. Did you deal with HR after that? No, I didn't talk about that, nor did I have to deal with HR with that. Hey, what's up, Tubeworm? Hello, hello. But speaking of YAML, there is a brand new way to break it, which I think I posted in the Discord. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my god, we all talk so much. Where is that message? That was before last stream? Oh yeah, here it is. It is. So this bit of YAML here, using just, you know, normal YAML load, allows you to map over a tuple of strings and eval them. So if we ignore warnings, and it should be w ignore, and install PyYAML first off, of course. It runs as a side effect whatever you put in there. So you could do something like, you know, import os.system echo hi, and get yourself a shell. These need to be single quotes. Get yourself a shell. In fact, we can get a full shell if we really want one. Hello world. This is in the shell, I think. Exit 1. Yeah. Oh, it popped a subshell there. It's up, Mr. Linux OSU. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. But yeah. YAML. Literally eval. Still in the year 2021. Juice says, everyone I've ever interviewed has like a secret, what's the culture at Twitch like question? But it's really, is it safe for women here? It's true. What's up, Green Mike? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I think they're rolling with this idea. A new PogChamp every 24 hours? What? That's cool. That's pretty cool. Everyone will have the golden PogChamp. Hey, what's up, m2dev.net? Hello, hello. Welcome back. Farthy Scrimshaw. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Saw that on Discord. Indeed, indeed. Pandawan says, oh, you made all those things we added to our Nox build street. I love and hate your software. Yikes. Some pointed words there. What is a build street? I don't even know what that means. Brand new YAML breakage. Oh, doesn't Python YAML do safe load by default now? No, it still does not. Still does not do safe load by default. It still does fuckery load by default. Pandawan, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Does it work in safe load? No, of course not. Of course not. You, of course, as you should, get a thing. What the fuck is Python object new? That makes no sense, unfortunately. But yeah, safe load is not the default. Greenbank says that YAML exploit gained you a follow right there. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty lolsy. The old one that we had before, let's see. The old one that we had before only worked in Python 2. And only worked in IML less than 4. But but here is one popping a shell using object.apply, which I guess was just removed. Oh yeah, no, apply is removed in Python 3. Maybe this works in newer PyYAML. In Python 2. Could not determine a constructor for the tag. Oh, I guess apply is gone. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just that I have to use... Maybe it's just that I have to use... Why is the music stopped? Please continue. Python/object/apply. I think what you have to do is have... How does this other one work? Oh. Yeah, I think apply is just gone. Okay. Anyway, that's why that other one doesn't work. But apply is deleted in Python 3, but they removed it from PyYAML as well, I guess. I like the follow command line. Yeah, isn't that pretty good, Mr. Linux OSU? I want to do some animations in it. I just haven't had time to do it in a while. What about safe load, says Bearded Superhero? Yeah, of course it doesn't work in safe load, but the default isn't safe load because lol YAML. What does ... mean in Python? Fortunately for you, I have put this into a video. I do not remember the... Oh, I can just do... Explains ellipsis. Did that work? Yeah, check out this video. I go over what the triple dots do in Python. But thank you for the question, Rust Segfault. Literally nothing. It can do something sometimes. And it's slightly different than pass. Ever so slightly. Oh, looks like the end of server got you before I did. My bad. You're running Ubuntu Gnome? Yes, if you do bang OS, which Chaz Robot got for you. Perfect, perfect. That's why they call him Big Papa Shell. Cause he pop? Cause he pop? Is that why? What are the specs of your computer? I need to put this into a video, but I will show you quickly. Performance. I have an i7-8700K. I have 64 gigs of RAM. I have a bunch of SSDs. I have one spinning drive, which I've been meaning to get rid of because it makes loud noises, and it just spun up, so now it's making loud noises. And I have a 1080 Ti. And my screen setup looks like this. This is my current screen setup, where I stream this chunk here, OBS goes over here, dashboard here, Twitch chat here, Streamlabs here, Firefox here, and lol iTunes. But yeah, that's my setup. Why do you have a keyboard like that? Does it help in any way opposed to a regular one? I go over that if you do bang keyboard. I have a video. You can look at the frequently asked questions video at the end of that. I go over all of that. Because you popped a shell with YAML, you big heckin' dork. Not overclocking, yeah, it's not overclocked even though it's unlocked. How many inches of monitor? So the middle one, Alpha Q Mom. The middle one is 30, the left one is 28, and the right one is 27. None of them are the same size. Which is a little annoying, but yeah. Same shirt in the setup pic as right now. Yeah, I wonder if I have the same shirt in this one. Oh, you can't see in this one. This is before I got my softboxes. Back when I used to stream the slightly yellowed background because of sodium lights. But now I have fluorescence. But anyway, that's my setup. This is the new Lolzy YAML eval. God, fucking YAML. Or you got your cool headphone hanger. It's true. I do have a fancy new headphone hanger thanks to Juicebox Hero. Okay. But what were we doing? I think this is all I need to do to make this work. Oh, we also need to make newly created installs also set the data upon insertion so that after we backfill, we don't regress. Oh, I already did that. Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't remember doing this. When did I do this? Add account ID when creating install. Huh. Okay. Apparently I already did this. We still need to backfill this though. It's up, Eddie Bogian. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Alexa says, do you use something like Packer/Vagrant for creating your VM, or do you configure it manually and then clone if you need another instance? I just create it manually every time. I do use Puppet to manage it. Actually, I go over that in this video, but also this video. So I go over that in those two videos. I use Puppet to manage the software on it, but I don't bother with Vagrant and Packer for the outside part, mostly because why? Well, I don't do it frequently enough to warrant needing Packer/Vagrant there. And every time that I upgrade my operating system version, I necessarily have to do a bunch of other work as well to make it work. And so I usually don't, automating it would actually cost me more time than saving there. Because I would, every 2 years I make a new VM. So, yeah, it's not a huge deal for me to do that. And most of the complexity is in Puppet anyway. But I have thought about doing a Packer Vagrant setup, but no, I just use plain VirtualBox. You have a shared folder to back up data on your VM. So the only things that I save off my VM, well, I guess I save a little bit more now. The things that I will save the next time I move my VM are none of that folder. So this GitHub token, these SSH tokens, this GPG token, the chat logs for my bot, so this database and these logs here. Everything else on my machine is ephemeral. Everything else I don't care about. I could delete it all and not mind at all. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. But yeah, I keep those. I keep a copy of those in a safe place and bootstrap a machine just based on those three things. So that's pretty neat. But all the memes tell me that dev oops people like to waste hours automating stuff they could do manually in 5 minutes, right? I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes, but I'm usually pretty good about trading off when it's going to waste me time versus save me time. But yeah. Well, by the speaker says, off to bed. Been a long week. Well, thank you for stopping by. It has been a long week. It's been a really long... I'm exhausted. I haven't really done anything. I was so tired yesterday that I didn't even record. It was... yeah, I don't know. It's been a rough week. Juice says, coming over to Tofu now? Sounds good. I'll see you when you get here. What's up, Ronald DocuTrimF? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Tofu and juice hype. It's true, it's true. I'm gonna go fill up my water. I will be right back, and I will see you in a bit. Hello, I'm back. How's it going? What did I miss? Philip says I'm coming over with pizza. Pizza sounds so good. As long as Tofu doesn't poop in front of a fancy store, right? Yeah, you will get to see Tofu. You want to install a new app, do you do that through Puppet, or do you install it manually and then update your Puppet for the next rebuild? I do it with Puppet, almost always. Ridak, thank you for the subscription with Prime. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support. I satisfied accidentally bonked m2dev.net because it starts with the letter M. That's so funny. Hey, what's up, Alexa Placan? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. You're eligible for financial aid beginning with spring 2101 term. That's a long ass time. It's a long ass time. Hey, what's up? Oh, Green Mike, you've already been here. What is this Puppet you install things with? I'll give you, so this video goes over Puppet and related tools. Wait, Ridak, you were subscribed before you followed. That's impressive. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So what Puppet is a configuration management system, and this is my particular Puppet. It's on GitHub, so I might as well just link that. Personal Puppet. Press enter so we get the protocol. There we go. You just said hello. Oh, I see. I understand. I understand now. But the way Puppet works is you set up modules, and I don't know, one example is I have a virtual environment that I set up in my home directory at this location. and I install this particular set of packages into it, and this code here sets that up for me. So, you know, it's a way to declaratively state how a machine should look after you run it. So, yeah, like this might be doing that. It might be, you know, it might be installing packages instead. So, like for instance, in order to install Podman, I have to pull in a particular GPG key, set up a particular key source, set up a particular app source, purge an old package. I can actually remove these two lines probably now. I think all of my machines have been updated. Install some packages and you know, set stuff up like this. It's like Ansible. It's you know, Ansible and Puppet are different solutions to the same problem. They're equivalent essentially. I have Prime's chat open as well, and when you discovered PogChamp was an emote again, they spammed the poop out of it. Nice. Nice. What is that Tej emote? What is that? Oh, is that a sleepy pupper? I see. Redax says, yeah, dude, I have to give someone my Prime sub, and who deserves it more than people who educate others on the internet without any financial gain? Well, thank you for that, Redax. Appreciate that. What about Vagrant and Kubernetes? I mean, Vagrant is for spinning up VMs. Kubernetes is... I mean, Vagrant is tangentially related, I guess, in a way, in like its description of a virtual machine. But they're not really the same. Kubernetes is... I don't even know where to begin about Kubernetes. Sounds like Nixos, but worse. It's not really. Nixos is more like a package manager, whereas you would use Puppet to configure how you want to run Nixos. So it's like the next level after versioning your dot files. Yeah, kind of like that. Hey, what's up, Carpy Codes? Who says, Anthony Code, have you seen the newer-ish Python certs from Python Institute? Any thoughts on them? I've never heard of Python Institute. They seem unrelated to the Python Software Foundation. Open Education and Development Group. I've literally never heard of this thing. Given the state of this webpage right here, it kind of looks like they might be a scam. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What kind of weird ass upside down snowball is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to look like the Twitch emote that kind of looks like a penis? Is that what they're going for? Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of this before. So I don't know anything about this. I'm skeptical. But yeah, I have no idea. I've not heard of them. I don't know that they're an official thing. I'm pretty sure they're not an official thing. Empty Definite says, I've been thinking about creating a chocolatey script to set up my next machine, but would be hard to test. Yeah. Ethan, what is your GitHub handle, Ethan? Why am I forgetting Ethan's name? I'm talking about Ethan typing. He isn't in chat today. Ethan has a Puppet setup for Windows that uses Chocolatey, so you might be able to find something from that. That would be helpful, but they're not in chat today. If you ping eBay, EBAE, on Dicksword, you can get the link to their stuff there. Shan says, excuse me, but anything he stirs my cold hard earned from my grasp every month. Yeah. Running your desktop on Kubernetes would be so cool, but really hard. I don't even think that would work. Kubernetes, right? Don't forget about cubes. Yeah. I've seen Anthony get literally cents from Twitch. He's basically a shill at this point. It's pretty true, Philip. It's pretty true. Invest now, says Samuels. Geologist says, geologsed. Man, I can read. For an early finance internship, should I learn VBA or Python first? Will I be able to do VBA work with Python, or would it be overkill? VBA. That is a thing that I have not heard in quite a long time. I think learning Python will be more beneficial to you for a long-term career standpoint. If you're like somehow unfortunately pigeonholed into writing VBA all the time, I'm so sorry. VBA is useful to, integrate with things like Excel and write macros and stuff like that. But it has largely been eliminated as a mainstream programming language like 15 years ago. um, yeah, I would learn Python. You should be able to do everything that you can do with VBA with Python. You might not be able to do it directly in Excel, but you could still do it. Neely says, end of the winter equals snowman melting. Theophil says, sounds like pay us money and you get a certificate that means nothing. True, it's true, it's true. That is exactly what it sounds like. Hey, what's up, Hayden? Hello again. Oi! What up? Are you still streaming, Hayden? I feel like you were just streaming a second ago. I saw your go live. Directed by some Polish IT place. Tell me more about your macro pad. Oh, yes, Ethan HS. Yes. Ethan HS / personal puppet. Yes. So this is his Windows setup. So you might be able to check this out and learn more about that as well. I was streaming, I was getting too annoyed to go. Oh no. Green Mike says, tell me more about your macro pad. That keyboard 3? Yeah, there we go. I actually made a video about it as well, but it is called the BDN9. I assembled it on, or I soldered it together and assembled it on stream. Where is the one? So you can see just the device there. So there's the little board. You can see some of my solder points in there, but I currently use oh, here's the backing part of it. Not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but I got it from keeb.io, and it is the BDN9. It was sold out last I checked, but it's a pretty nice little piece of hardware. They also sell an enclosure case, but I kind of like the open, so I can kind of peer in at it and look at what's going on there. But yeah, it has, two knobs. This one controls my headphone volume, and this one is page up and page down just because I haven't thought of a way to reconfigure this. I don't know. They're also clicky as well. Oh, this is mute. I don't know what clicking this one does. But I use these to switch scenes. So this first scene will take me into my selfie scene here. This second one takes me into the programming scene that I mostly use. This one goes to my Be Right Back screen. This one goes to the title screen of my YouTube videos. This one goes to a selfie screen that I use for my YouTube videos. I don't use this one while streaming. I use this one instead. So they're slightly different. Yeah, there's all sorts of I could configure more, I just haven't spent time doing that. Unfortunately, the configuration for this is a little bit weird. So I've written some custom C code for this. Where is this? QMK firmware. This usually takes forever. Workspace, VM, scripts, Babby. No. Keyboards, Keybio, BDN9, keymaps. My keymap is named IDK. But here's my text editor running on Windows. I had to do this huge hack right here, which allows me to do keybinds such that it escapes my virtual machine. And so what it does is it taps the right control key, then it taps the key a bunch of times. 4 seemed like the best way to make this consistent, unfortunately. I couldn't just tap it once, and then I tap control again to go back into the VMs. This exits the VM context. That's what this keybind does here. And then in OBS, I have these keys bound to particular scene changes, so F13 through F18. But yeah, that's my custom key map. Here's also the part where I have the rotation encoder. So you can see this is volume up and volume down. But yeah, it's kind of neat. CM says, but we all learned from the COVID test data handling that Excel is better database. Yeah. Some of both Gorilla /Mux and GoChiChi were routing stuff on a router /v1 with route of / straight to /. Huh. Weird. It says Stream Deck keyboard. Elma Rihanna says dope keyboard. I'm glad you enjoy it. Zithri says you scared me. I thought you were on Windows. I am on Windows. Fafi says, I have kind of a noob question. I'm still trying to get the ins and outs of Python. Is there a pip version of npm install? I'm aware of VM and requirements.txt, but it seems less efficient to store package info when using git. Do you mean like npm install -- save? I guess npm install now modifies package.json. No, I don't think it modifies it by default, does it? But what are you asking? Do you mean like a thing that installs packages or a thing that keeps track of the packages you have installed? Like a lock file? Is that what you're looking for? Because there's unfortunately like 50 different ways to solve lock files in Python. I prefer to just use pip freeze and write it to requirements.txt, but there's also, you know, poetry, pipenv, and a bunch of other versions of the same kind of thing. Rixer says, I just picked up the macro keyboard PCB from Ryan Bates. I'm excited to solder that at some point. Oh, sounds cool. Hey, what's up? The Rob White Twitch, thank you for the resub and 3 months. Appreciate your continued support and welcome back. It's good to see you. Installing Bebby on Windows now, finally. Yeah, I mean, it's worked for a long time on Windows. I haven't worked on it in a while, but it's been like that for almost a year, I think. Streaming DQ, yeah. There will be a pip, I think it's called pip resolve, that'll be similar to that soon. But it's, you know, not done yet. Cool stuff for the macro pad. Thanks for the demo. Yeah, no problem. I've been eyeing the Stream Deck pad, but I'm worried it won't work well in Linux. This is just a standard keyboard, so it should work fine on Linux. Yeah, what is that on the right? Is that a puppet thing to install Podman and build it? Yes, that is what this is. Two tools I don't really like. What's wrong with Podman and Builda other than they're a little bit buggy? Those Python Institute guys seem to have existed for 15 years. Wow, I've never heard of them. What is Builda? It's basically a Docker builder, Docker image builder. But still don't seem convincing. Yeah, shoot me, please. Podman not so much, but I'm not a fan of Builda. Yeah, I mean, Builda doesn't have as many features as Docker Build does at the moment, but I'm using it to build, well, I was using it to build the pre-commit.ci Docker images. Now I'm using Docker through GitHub Actions because it was buggy as shit. Having to script something to build things isn't really nice. Yeah, I mean, I used to script Docker, so it was the same. To me, that was equivalent. I didn't have to change much there. Not stonks, you know. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is all that I already had, apparently, part of the backfill code. I don't know why I didn't do the plan stuff at the same time. Oh, I know I didn't do the plan stuff at the same time. Because I required changing the shape of this object. Okay, so I need to make sure that nothing is constructing install and not caring about this plan. Grep install. I think I had gotten rid of all of them. Maybe. Install. Okay, nothing there. This is session install, so we don't care about that. This is different. Plan equals none. So we do have to update this. Yep. And backfill installs. I don't think we're going to run this script again, so I think I can actually delete this script. Because I ran it recently and made no changes again, so that's good. I'll update it anyway. Plan equals none. This is just a test to make sure that these two objects act similarly, even though this one is a strict subset of the fields up here. what's up, Rastrix? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. There's automatic layering with Docker builds built into Docker files. It's not so simple with Builda. You can use Builda bud and it works the same as Docker build. Essentially the same. quick chat, ask questions. Otherwise, Anthony will get productive too fast. Only 90 minutes in. Green Mike says, off to code. Bye all. Well, thank you for stopping by. Have you really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like Anthony? What? NTWNet says, I kind of want to get back into streaming, but time, yeah. Yeah. Build a beer? Build a bear. I read your message multiple times. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tuber was just trying to be a little trolly there. Okay. And plan to install model. Cool. And one neat thing that I've done since last stream is we shouldn't drop frames when I do deployments anymore. So this is not the part where we would drop frames, but build a beer. I know what Anthony wants. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm fuzzing you. Drop. What? Oh, I understand, Tuber. Okay, so if we do deploy now, in theory, this shouldn't drop frames when I press enter now. In theory. We'll see, because I did it with a test stream, and I don't know if it works for a real stream. But in theory, should not drop frames. Please. It takes a lot longer now because it's no longer saturating my network, but it looks like we didn't drop frames. Yay! We did it! This is the meme? Oh, is there a meme that I don't understand? Is that what's going on here? Have you ever had a... This is 61 million views? What the fuck? How have I not seen this? But it's 61 million. I guess I'll watch that later. Uber says, give me -1 good reason to use Python. -1 good reason? Is that a reason to not give you to Python? Oh god, you're just trying to brain break me. I see what's going on here. That's pricks. Have you seen Pep 648? Is that the match? Is that the stupid match thing? Pep 648. Or is this the Pi packages? Oh, this is the startup customization. Yeah. This one looks fine. There's one thing, I don't know if it's been... clarified. Yeah. The way this is worded makes me sound like they get executed in subprocesses, which would not be good. But otherwise, I think this idea is fine. But yeah, oh, it seems fine. Seems okay. Sammy Vallis says, "Is this your channel?" No, that is not my channel, Sammy Vallis. Michaela says, Anthony, have you ever ... dev brain memories? Whoever pops a shell inside Anthony wins. Yeah. I do have a buggy interpreter of many different programming languages stuck in my brain for reasons. Octavia, welcome. Hello from Turkey. How's it going? How are you? I clicked the wrong button. Now I'm curious what this is. Oh, it was reCAPTCHA. It's like, why do I have a spinner on a sign-up form? What are you possibly for, spinner on a sign-up form? My password is Control V. Fine, bro. And you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Results dev.precommit.ci. Should just make sure that this continues to load after deploy. We actually have to load a subpage of this. Okay, cool. This is still working without the attribute. That's good. It would have crashed here otherwise. I want to double check the data in the data store. Dev. I fucking hate login forms that do this shit, where you type in your email, then you press next, then you type in your password. It's so fucking annoying. Just like, let me do both at the same time, please. It's more secure. No, it's fucking bullshit. It's no more secure than normal sign-in forms. It's just more annoying. That's what it is. It makes password managers don't work. It makes password managers not work well. Dun, 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 dun. Pop Anthony Shell, you just gotta start a live stream, ask Anthony to raid you, and then start insulting him as soon as he raids you. Oh no. Breaks my password manager flow as well? Yeah. Then your two-factor after? Yeah, oh my god. So annoying. I'll stream again and keeping frustrated to go. If I can get Anthony to raid me with the knowledge he's gonna get absolutely obliterated verbally. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, what's up, Evelbona? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. What are you working on today? We are trying to set up the marketplace webhooks for pre-commit.ci. And before we can do that, we need to backfill a bunch of data. We need to add an index. We need to do all sorts of stuff. See, I remember your dreams. It's true. It's true. That was indeed a dream I had a little while ago. What am I doing? Dynamo? Where's Dynamo? That's about two-factor in the actual password field after the password entry. I've had some things do this. Those ones always rub me the wrong way. Where it's like, type comma duo at the end of your password and it will give you a duo push. And it's like, ugh. Duo not want. Tables, installs, items. There should be one item in here and it should not have plan at the end. Because we have not added it yet. But if we were to create another org, which I have to do through developer settings, here, edit, need to do super secret things so that I can add an org. Okay, so now I should be able to go here and add this with this repository. That should hopefully not crash. Cool. Cool. And now if I refresh this, we should get plan null and service account ID. Perfect. Okay, so this is the plan true. No, it's nullable. This is what I expect to get, and then we'll write a backfill that will do all the other ones. But I'm actually going to delete this because we don't need it. Well, actually, we can just leave it for now. But anyway, this is working correctly, so we're going to deploy that to prod now. Prod credentials. and then deploy. And hopefully don't drop the frames. Don't drop the frames, don't drop the frames. We did drop some frames between then and now, so I don't know what happened there, but didn't drop any frames, so that's cool. I need to get better about my credential management, but we'll do that at some point. Make sure that this still works. Free IPA makes you put your OTP keys in the password like password plus OTP. Just like 2.0, yeah. Hey, what's up, Metabytes? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. And it still loads. Okay, cool. Now that we have those fields in place, and now that any new installations are going to include those fields, we can go ahead and backfill the old data for both of these fields. And I already started writing the backfill for this. Get show. Get rid of that branch because we just did that. Backfill plan. Okay. Yeah, so we need to backfill both plan and account ID. I think this code already works, so just double check it. We'll be able to run this in dev as well. Need to be dev, scan everything, grab the index key, or create the new index key. Dry run do nothing, otherwise run update item and sleep. Python-m scripts.backfill. Account ID. I wrote this before I realized all the other refactorings that I needed to do, so I kind of did this sort of backwards. Dry run. This should error. Pre-commit.ci env equals yes. This should have done nothing for that one, so clearly this is not working properly. If plan in install and service account ID in install continue. Okay, so that looks more correct now. It says wait, so will it be broken for right now for existing things? No, no code is reading that yet. I'm doing a multi-stage rollout so that I'm incrementally adding features. There will be no downtime during this. That's why I have to do it in like 10 fucking steps. So that, yeah, I maintain data consistency. I'm doing a data migration right now. That is what is happening at the moment. Elvona says, one question, in Anthony Explains, do you have a video about path? The path module. You mean like os.path? This module? No. Or do you mean pathlib? Are you talking about pathlib? There is no path module that I know of. Which module are you speaking of, Evelbona? But yeah, I think this is good. Let us run this now. Backfill. Oh, we don't have update item. Let's just steal that from this. Yes. Pathlib. No, I have not done one on Pathlib. Mostly because I don't like Pathlib personally. But perhaps I could as well. Hayden says, here's a question. What's the difference between get show and get diff? I have a video about get show. I don't know that I have one about get diff. But what show does is it takes a single commit and will show the diff of that. You can also use it to show other metadata about the commit as well. Like you can do git show name only, and it will show the file names. Of course, name only doesn't just do the names, it still shows you this garbage here. You can do no patch. Name only and S are mutually exclusive. You can do, oops. No, it's dash format equals to get rid of the header part. You can also do get show format equals %h. And that will show you the hash here, but then it includes the patch. Oh, that's what no patch is for. So you can use a bunch of different stuff here. Like if you want the commit time CT, yeah, or CI for ISO 8601. But what get show does is it'll show you an individual commits patch. Whereas diff will compare two commits and show the difference between those two. It shows the changes since the last commit. No, show just shows a particular commit. Diff on its own will show the differences since the last commit, yeah. And diff with arguments will compare those arguments. So get diff on its own just shows, well, I guess I could do get diff -- staged will show you the staged changes. Oh, that'll get fixed by pre-commit. But if you do get diff, 3 things ago versus head, it'll show the difference between those two commits or commit-like objects. So these things here. Actually, now that I think about it, I did do. Hey, what's up, Jasmine? Jasmine, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I did do a video on triple dot. Yeah, I did do a video about get diff as well. So check that one out. That one also talks a little bit more about get diff generically as well, I think, if I recall correctly. And fixes the white space. See backfill, plan equals none, and surface account ID. Okay, let's run this in dev now. Python or... Okay, so we did a dry run. That looks good. And now we wet run it. And it should populate that field on just that one item. And if we look here, you refresh. Cool, now it has plan is null, and service account ID should match 6675, and it does. Cool. Very cool. Okay, now we do it for prod. Now we do it for prod. Yeah, this is the part where my my pulse increases. Let's actually let's monitor this while it runs, because it is going to consume some read and write capacity. Prod. Let's see. Oh, that didn't get the password. What are you doing? Password. 2-factor. Why do you have to sign in so much? Yeah, I know. I hate it. I hate it so much. Well, I have to sign in at least to both of those because I have 2 separate accounts. That's why. Okay, but we want to monitor the Dynamo stuff here. Get rid of the dev step, then you don't have to sign in, sign out. Yeah, just yeet it straight to prod. What could go wrong there? Okay. Yeah, read capacity and write capacity are it. What is the table that I... Oh, this is the same table I backfilled last time, so... The same backoff as I used last time should be fine. Seems tedious? Yeah, it's a little tedious, but... it's... I do it so that my development is safe. Okay. Let's do dry run first. Just to see that it will do all of them. Okay. These are all of the orgs that are set up with pre-commit.ci at the moment. It should have done a little read capacity blip. Maybe? Not hard to see. There is a little teeny blip right here. Interesting that we got a write capacity blip. That's not what I expect. I didn't perform any writes. Maybe someone else performed a write at that particular time. But I guess we will run this now and see what happens. Wow, some people have really, really old GitHub accounts. Impressive. 40,000, I think, is the lowest one. 80,000, that one's pretty old. Man, mine is like 1.8 million. I'm nowhere close to these, like, real OGs. Oh, cool. Okay, anyway, we're gonna wet run this now. And, cross our fingers that it works and doesn't bring down the site. Oh my god, this is much faster than I expected it to run. We don't have any throttled reads or writes yet, though, so it should be going fine. Hey, what's up, Lord Nabirius? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. Yeah, it seems to be doing all right during this. So that's good. Oh, there's the write capacity spike. I maybe should have put the sleep higher. Although we don't have any throttle events, so I think it's fine. This table isn't write heavy, so I'm not super concerned. Although I am running, I'm running very low on read and write capacity here, so I am cheaping out a little bit. You can also decrease deployment and commit time if you get rid of tests and linters. Works perfect for me. That's funny. Hayden says, by the way, Anthonk, both rockylinux.org and rockylinux/infrastructure run pre-commit.ci on their PRs now. Awesome, that's cool. Okay, so this is done. If we peek at some of the items, they should have this field now. Plan is null. And they should have service account ID also, so that's good. Few suspendeds in here, which is interesting. It means they have an account, they have signed up for pre-commit.ci, and then they turned it off for some reason or another. But anyway, these look all backfilled now, so that's good. Which means... let's go back to dev. Push up that script. Okay. Now what? We can delete that script because we no longer need it. Scripts. I'm actually just gonna delete both of these scripts. Scripts, backfill, count ID. Delete historic, backfill, scripts. Because, I mean, they're gonna get history, so I can always look at that. Save file says, do you clear suspended from time to time, or do you keep them in the database? So this is kind of GitHub's soft delete. I can't really delete them, otherwise I would end up in a data inconsistent state if they were to re-enable them. Mostly because I don't get a notification upon re-enabling. I do get an unsuspend. Yeah, I get an unsuspend. But I don't have enough information at the unsuspend event to actually reflush the entire data thing. So I keep track of the data even when they're soft deleted. I says got home ready to start coding, but it's too cold and now I'm wrapped in a blanket. Nice. I might have actually made some dead code now that I think about it. Actually, this is really hard to read through. I should really teach Dead about Jinja, maybe. Pip install Dead? Yeah, isn't that great? Have you seen my my readme meme? Is this project dead? Maybe. Answer says Pulse going down again. Grim deleted a prod.db of their review board on stream this week with kubectl. Oh no. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I'm usually pretty safe about stuff. I haven't deleted any major data. And for the most part I can recover most of the data just by querying GitHub for particular things, so not a huge deal, yeah. But yeah, I wrote this project on an airplane. It is decent at finding dead code, but it doesn't know anything about Jinja at the moment, so I do need to fix that at some point. But yeah, like all of these attributes and data. Oh, this is dead. So I can definitely get rid of that. So this one I'm actually bringing back, so I'm gonna leave that there. It is none. Fuck Ginger 2! Yeah. These are endpoints. As are all of these. Those are fine. Lambda handler is also an entry point. Yeah, so I think this is fine. Let me manually look and see what we changed here. Fine. This function is technically unused. But we're going to be using it in a second anyway. So it will be back from the dead, and we will keep it around. Is there an HTML format that, like Prettier, that understands Jinja? Prettier ruins all Jinja stuff. I don't know of one. Michaela. Woman trampled to death at U.S. Capitol, held flag that read, "Don't tread on me." Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh. It's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can delete from there, so that's fine. It's called Disable Prettier. Clipped it, hand shipped it. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, I can get push this. I guess the next part is to do the marketplace webhooks. Before that, I'm going to delete this installation and put this back into the original state. But yeah, this is where you can suspend stuff. That we are going to uninstall, which is really weird. We don't get the right notification here to uninstall this. We get like a partial notification here, so it does 404 now, but it still shows up here until you log back in again. Which, like, if I just re-trigger a login, I could probably put a little refresh button here that would do the same thing. But once I relog in, I get the new data here. But I think this is such a rare workflow that whatever, it's okay if it's a little bit incorrect. It would be easier doing a relational store. I would just do a join, but yeah, key value store, a little bit of data weirdness. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, I guess? Okay, so let's do the marketplace webhooks next. Oh, I gotta fix it. Cool. All right. So that's good. Okay, so this is the marketplace stuff. We have set plan, which is going to need update item, which is why I kept that code around. And we are going to need to add index query and update item. Oh, we need to add this index first as well to the web. And I think this code we already wrote, and I think it's already correct. Of course, I don't know because I haven't tried it, lol. But let's go to Terraform now. And look at that Terraform change that I actually created. Pre-commit.ci Terraform. Don't you mean object store? I mean document store. Key value store is a document. I mean, I use the word key value store and document store interchangeably because it basically means the same thing. A document store is a more specific key value store. Yeah, adding this index. I think that's right. So we will merge this. I don't have a notification. Pre-commit stuff. But yeah, one of the people that works on Dynamo is, I don't know if they're still in the chat. Yeah, they still are in the chat. NoSQL know-how. Works on Dynamo. Okay, so Terraform runs. This is dev. Yeah, we'll do dev first, make sure that it works. We still haven't played with trying to inject this character yet, which I think would be funny, but hash key. Confirm and apply. So we'll run that for dev. We'll make sure that the index gets set up properly. It should be like instant. There's not that many items in this table. Honestly, I could probably dump the whole table instead of over-engineering this Dynamo stuff, but... Oh, it does this in a blocking manner, right? Why is Twitch continually resetting my quality to 480p? That's weird. At least it... At least I have encoders, because I'm partnered. Could you imagine if, just dropped the stream instead? That would be so much worse. Okay. I still want that. Don't need this, nor that, nor this, nor that. Reading 480p code on a 4K monitor is not very enjoyable. Yeah, it makes sense. Did this finish yet? Holy shit, why is this taking so long? This is Diff, right? There's only one item. Why is adding an index taking forever? There must be some validation error. This is probably just gonna fail. It's got a little thingy thing here. I don't know why it's taking so long to migrate one item. Creating, yeah, that's what it's doing. Hello? Are you okay? Should be one item now, yeah, because we deleted the other one. Hello? Oh no, what's going on here? Slowly ticking up time here. Not really anything else I can do while this is going, because I want to make sure this succeeds before going on to the next step either, so. How are you doing today, chat? How's life? Got any plans for the weekend? Why would anyone have plans for the weekend? It's the same shit as every other day. Stay inside and watch the YouTubes or whatever. Bezos has to bill you for more time to have a higher net worth than Elon Musk. Yeah. It's a weekend? Yeah, it's tomorrow, I guess. You know, we got yet another Blurs Day, but this Blurs Day happens to be at the end of the week. Probably doom scrolling as usual, says Lucario. Indeed, indeed. Oh, there's been a lot of doom to scroll recently. We'll just put it at that. Oh my god, the amount of doom and scroll. I saw the news about those rich bastards getting richer, and all I can imagine is being some medieval peasant overhearing the other peasants talk about how rich their king is. Yeah. Yeah, how's your chat plot doing, Bildothis? While we wait for this index. Holy shit, very up and to the right. Look at this. Boosh. I guess it's boosh in that direction. It's pretty good, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh yeah, you'll have a chat plot like that too, Mr. Linux OSU, but you need at least 2 days of data first. It's been taking a hit recently? Yeah. I feel like that growth is a little unsustainable. Hey, 420! This is taking forever. What the hell is going on here? It's literally a one item table. Why is creating an index taking many minutes? I don't know what's going on here. Can I say my own chart? Yeah, just do bang chat plot and it'll do your chart. You can also chat plot other people as well. So if you wanted to see, I don't know, Michaela's chat plot, you could do bang chat plot Michaela. And here's Alexa's chat plot. Oh, slightly upward trend. Good. Oh my god, did it finally finish? Finally finished. Took 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Jesus. Item count 0. Did I fuck this up? Service : account ID. The key is going to be this. What is the name of this? How does this function work? Oh, index name. Index name? Account ID index. Yeah, it works. Okay. Why does it say it has 0 items here? 0 items. Anyway, the index works, so that's fine. Still turning up. It's true, it's true. Yeah, there's a new PogChamp every 24 hours now, apparently. I know why Michaela is talking about taking her shirt off for taking a hit. You might also run Curlylint. I tried Gingerlint and it just didn't catch anything useful. Curlylint. Huh. Cool. Tofu's here, and Juice is also here. Speaking of which, Beldathis, just curious, why did you choose to use Terraform over the alternatives? I didn't want to have vendor lock-in, so CloudFormation was kind of out for that. And that was basically the only comparable solution. I don't know what you would use other than Terraform or CloudFormation. I also manage resources that are not in AWS as well, like Cloudflare domains. So yeah. Here's Tofu and Juice. Oh, you're so excited to see me. Hi, Tofu. Hi, Tofu. Look at this cute Paparoo. You're less chompy. What happened? Oh. Hey.
Hey, don't chomp.
Oh, she's whining to say hi. Here's Tofu. Time for some chomping, to say boss, right? She does not like the squoze.
She loves the squoze.
Ow!
Oh, chomp.
Ow! Hey.
Nice.
No chomping. No
Nice.
chomping.
Nice. 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 She's so frustrated. She wants to chomp so bad.
Yeah, you didn't get to see me for so long.
Chomp.
Hey, no chomp. No chomp.
I chomp. I chomp. Chomping me? I think if you just say hello, we'll calm down.
Hi.
There you go.
Hi.
That's a good pupper.
Hi. Hi.
She's slowly inching towards you.
Hi. Hi, Tofu. Hi, Tofu.
Looking like a doggo with that mask.
I think it's supposed to be more like a bear. Hey, little chomper.
She's literally just shoving my fingers in her mouth right now. What is happening? Ew!
I don't want that!
Okay, I'm gonna... Do you need change? I have to park it later.
No. I have, like, collected quarters, but I don't have, like, normal people quarters.
I'm not gonna use your collection of quarters. Who doesn't have change?
Me? Anyway, let's create the index in prod also. So that's dev. This should be prod. Prod should take a little bit longer, I think. then dev. Normal people quarters, right, Robin? Normal people quarters. You have to teach Tofu to say hello, hello instead of AWC chomp. Yeah. Kevin says today's macOS hack. Homebrew supports brew files, but everything is installed globally since it's homebrew. This allowed me to only keep packages I use in my projects. What? What?
Give me like leads of where I would find change files.
Yeah, it would be on this table.
On that table.
That would be the only place that there would be any change.
Okay.
Or on my dresser, but double check to make sure they're not collectibles first.
Quarter. One single. You have a lot of dollar bills. Is it for the strippers?
Yeah.
I have a lot of changer.
This clip is hilarious with no context.
What's this?
That is a Canadian dism.
A dism?
I don't know where it went.
I'm sure Toby will find it later.
It might be a special one. I just don't know where it went.
55 cents. No, change my
Wait,
foot.
can I see? Yeah, they're fun.
Thank you.
I don't know where that dime went now. Oh, there it is. Is this a special one? Oh, you could try this Canadian dime too.
The same size as regular dime?
Yeah, but it's different weights, so they might not accept it. Oh, I didn't even click the button, so we're waiting on nothing. Wait, you have the golden kappa I satisfied? Really? That seems so unlikely. There's no way that's true. I satisfied says, here's 10 cents. Thank you for the bits I satisfied. Okay, confirm. Unemployed Anthony and Juice takes his last change. It's true, it's true. It's true. Losing my money out here. But anyway, I think we'll probably just make this a shorter stream today. I'll finish this up either tomorrow or offline. Since I'm gonna go play with the Pupperoo because I've had a long week and I think I deserve some Pupperoo time. So we're gonna let this run, and find someone else to send y'all off to. But my name is Anthony. I upload my previous content to YouTube, and that's youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode. We've just reached a really special milestone today, with 200 Anthony Explains videos uploaded, which are videos where you guys ask questions and I answer them in detail. And today's video is about Xargs. It's a real good one, so check that one out. I normally stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and I announce my streams in 2 places. One of those is twitter.com/codewithanthony. Where I basically talk about what I'm going to do and then work on it. And we made quite a bit of progress on GitHub Marketplace stuff today. Just need to finish up the last little bit of it though. But that is that. And you can also join the Discord, which is a nice programming Discord. There's a good beginner section if you want to ask questions or stuff like that. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and let's go find someone to raid.